This video is proudly sponsored by Newtype. Tools, accessories, model kits, these guys have it. Hop over to newtypeshq.com and use promo code Otaku for 10% off on your next purchase. Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to another exciting build from the good folks from Bandai, Japan. So why don't we get things started with the 1/60th scale Mazinger Z from the feature-length film Mazinger Z Infinity. And without further ado, let's get to it. Welcome back, my dudes and dudettes, and thank you so much for coming back to watch another episode. It absolutely means a lot to me. So, story time. When I was a young little otaku builder, I didn't have a lot of shows I watched as a kid. Sure, I had Street Sharks, Biker Mice from Mars, and Knights of the Round Table, Captain Bucky O'Hare. There wasn't a real anime show that really gravitated to my attention. That all changed until I went to middle school and I was introduced to Sailor Moon, of all animes. And then shortly after Sailor Moon, Samurai Pizza Cats, and then Tekka Man Blade. But the one robot genre that definitely got me hooked was Mazinger Z. So, fast forward a couple of decades later, I then find out later on this year that they were going to be releasing a 1/60th scale model kit, and I knew right then and there I had to build it. But I'm not just going to do a straight up build. In fact, I haven't done any weathering on a model kit for quite some time, so this is a great introduction to get me back into doing that once again. So, what can you expect from this box art? Right out the bat, you get a beautiful front illustration of showing this mech from the front and back view, as well as a beautiful illustration showing this guy in its awesome glory, as well as a top down, lower down shot of what you can see all the cool little surface detail, as well as a promotional poster for the feature-length film Mazinger Z Infinity. But if there's one thing I gotta give credit for Bandai, they actually include one orange LED light for this model kit, but you're gonna need to buy some batteries to make that guy work properly. So what else can you expect from this model kit? Next up, we have the classic drill missiles followed by the ever so popular rocket punch. Next up, we have the iron cutters. And the most popular gimmick of this model kit is the LED lights for the eyes. Now, for those who just want to do a straight up build, the LED lights that come with this kit are going to be just fine. They're just not going to be as bright as you would expect them to be. And to top things off, you get the hovercraft that strangely enough does not have the pilot. So enough about that, what's inside the box? As always, you are happily greeted with the instruction manual with another manual right behind it that just giving you a heavy reminder that this is just a straight up model kit. It is not a toy. You don't need any glue. It comes with a handful of stickers, no sticker decals. That's pretty much it. And a helpful reminder that you're going to need some tools to cut these pieces out. So as for the very first page, it is actually kind of cool because it actually introduces you to do some custom painting if you choose to do so, to add that classic chrome on the thighs and that dark black on the torso, that bright red, that ever so popular yellow orange, and that violet blue for the thick calves and forearms. I thought that really nice. And the page behind it gives you a guide on what you can expect to use for runners for this model kit. Now, the amount of runners you get for this kit is no different from what you expect from a mega-sized Gundam, but since it's down to the 1/60th scale like a perfect grade, should be an easy build in one day. As for the following page, gives you a good introduction on what tools you need, which is a good pair of snippers, a micro Phillips screwdriver, as well as a handful of LR41 lithium-ion batteries to turn on the Bandai LED light unit, which is kind of crucial if you want to make this guy look as cool as a box art, but at the same time, it's not really necessary if you just want to leave it as is, because Lord knows it is very difficult to find these batteries to fit this unit. First, runners up, you're going to get a handful of big, bold, transparent red pieces for the torso, as well as a handful of bright yellow oranges for the eyes and for the neck. So there's like a particular light tubing system that goes at the base of the neck, which allows you to illuminate the eyes to the main head, which is a really cool little gimmick. And then on top of that, you get a handful of red pieces for this model kit, as well as a plethora of stickers to help refract that light to make it illuminate properly inside the eyes. Next up, we get a small assortment of chrome pieces for the main abdomen and the head, and a big chunk of red pieces for the main wing sections in the back, a small assortment of metallic gray pieces for the torso as well as for the knees, hip, and thigh parts for this model kit, followed up by these glossy black pieces for the main torso, hips, and arms for this model kit. But one thing I love about this model kit is the open and closed fist hands. There is so much great surface detail on this. I would love if there was actually a feature to make them actually articulate, but you know what? I love the way how these look, and I'm willing to work what I have. Followed by behind it is more metallic gray pieces for the inner frame itself, more violet blue pieces for the cabs, as well as the feet for this model kit. Once again, love this surface detail on the foot. It's a shame that you won't be able to see it when you're done painting it, but I love the attention to detail there. Absolutely loved it. More inner frame pieces for the main hips, as well as the elbows for the drill missiles, followed by more inner frame pieces for the actual flight unit, and a small assortment of yellow pieces for the main fighter unit. And I absolutely love this nice bright orange color. Now before I do any kind of form of custom painting, I want to add some battle damage to make this guy look really cool like what you see on the box art. So to help make that reality, I'm going to be using my Dremel cutting tool to add some light and some deep surface cuts onto the actual top part of the plastic without warping the plastic to the point where it ends up melting it. But there are times where it's not going to be consistent, and it's not going to look right, and that's when it comes into handy, the Tamiya plastic scribing tool too. Now this tool is absolutely incredible to use when you want to do some of your own custom panel lining on your model kit, but for this particular kit, I'm going to add some scratches and dinks to this model kit to make it look really, really cool. Now, since I'm going to be working with power tools that actually disperse small little microscopic pieces of plastic in the air, I don't want to breathe that stuff in, so it's always helpful to actually have a breathing respirator at hand, followed by a good pair of safety goggles to protect your eyes. Alright, now we reach the part of the kit that I absolutely love, and that's installing LED lights. Now, the way how the LED light works for Bandai is you put the LED light unit at the base of this rod, and that light is supposed to be sufficient enough where it just illuminates the whole entire plastic. So I did a test on my own by putting a blue Mega LED light in there, and it looks good. It illuminates it the way how it's supposedly designed, but I don't like the fact how it's not really consistent around the eyes. So what I'm going to end up doing is going to cut off the excess plastic that's sitting at the base of both eyes, and once I haul it out enough, I'm going to be putting in a chip Evans designed LED light in both eyes. Now, I originally was going to put a Mega LED light to illuminate the eyes both, correctly, but I felt that they need their own independent power source to make it look really authentic. Alright, my dudes and dudettes, as this video is wrapping up, I want to share with you guys my thoughts and impressions about this model kit, and there's really nothing negative I can say about this kit right off the bat, so let's get into it, shall we? So if there was one complaint I can see a lot of people talking about this particular build is there's not a lot of good articulation, the hands aren't posable, you can't really do much with that, and then there's weight distribution problem. And the beautiful thing about Bandai is they actually give you some adapters for the leg to help reduce the weight distribution problem when you're plugging in the backpack unit, and the posability shouldn't be a problem. There's a reason why it's supposed to be stiff, so that way everything can be locked into place. And on top of that, I'm totally fine not having any like finger manipulators on the hands. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, I've built like 1 or 4 mega size and that didn't bother me. This shouldn't be a problem for you when it comes to building this kit, because this kit can generally take you a day to get done. It is literally that easy and that simple to build, but at the same time, there is a level of appreciation when you build this kit. Everything down to the aesthetic modern design, the way how every panel line surface looks, to the actual articulation, the illustration, it is a work of art, and it's so refreshing to build something different than Gundam from time to time, and you definitely have a deeper appreciation towards this kit. I wish I ran into this kit a lot sooner than I did, but that's going to change relatively soon, and it was absolutely a blast to build this kit. If there was one small little complaint, it would have been nice if they included some kind of action base with this kit, but that probably would have hiked the price up to like $180 to $200. I get it, it's not needed, and I'm totally okay with that. But for those who want to actually display this model kit on their bookshelf, you can do that, but I would highly advise not adding the backpack unit to it, because that guy is going to take up a lot of real estate. Believe me, it's not going to work for me. So in conclusion, is this model kit worth the purchase? Yes! And no. The reason for that is this kit's massive, so unless you live in a house or in a very big apartment that you want to have as a showpiece, it's going to take up a lot of room, especially with the backpack unit. So I would highly advise anyone who wants to pick up this kit, get the smaller version. I believe there's a real grade version out there. Hopefully I'm right. But for those who are like, oh, I like Mazinger, I want a big version of it in my work study, or in my man cave, or in my home theater room, pick it up. It's worth it. I had so much fun. Would happily build another one if the opportunity came. And with that being said, thank you dudes and dudettes for watching this video. And as always, I will see you dudes and dudettes on the next video. Later.